What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another Triple T podcast for knife makers. My name is Jerid, and I'm from Echo Blades. And again, I have Denis from Tyrell Knifeworks.
Don't sound so excited about it. Jeez, you
No,
should
first,
miss me. It's been 2
I
weeks.
do miss you, dude. I do. It's been a long time. And normally, if in between we're chatting or doing anything, but I kind of went MIA. But I do have to make like a full-on public service announcement and extend a really important apology for three very, very special people. Rick Hall, Spencer, and Kyle. My deepest and most sincere apologies for sticking you with this guy for the 2 episodes that you guys had to endure this. Friend
I
of
thought
mine.
those episodes went really nice and smooth, and we had lots to talk about. It's funny what happens when you're not here.
I did listen. They were fantastic. But again, my deepest and sincerest apologies for having it be so just mellow.
You're such a dick.
No, but for real, thank you guys for filling in. You guys did a great job. And yeah, I'm back, fuckers. Let's roll. What's up?
So let's start. How was the cruise? Are you all relaxed now?
I'm back to not being relaxed. I did return relaxed though. Yes. Let me stick a zen in because that's the only way I can deal with you. Yeah, no, the cruise was fantastic, man. It was how do you describe? I think I just was telling somebody today that it was way too long and not long enough. 10 days on a boat was it was good. But I think at the very end of it, I was ready to come home.
See, I've spent 2 weeks at a resort before.
Mm-hmm.
And then, by like the 10-day mark, you're ready to you get kind of bored. And that's on a massive fucking resort like Moon Palace. Yeah. I think I would go a little stir crazy being on a cruise for 10 days.
Well, the cool thing was that, excuse me, there was, we did 7 ports in 10 days. So there was plenty to do. We weren't stuck on the boat for anything. There was only 2 sea days. But nevertheless, it gets, like the food on those things is supposed to be the highlight. And, on the previous ones that I've done, I've ate myself into oblivion, but, this one it came with the most like super high ratings, like 5-star Michelin chefs on board at some of the restaurants and stuff. And it was just okay.
It was
princess or virgin.
Virgin.
Yeah. I can't remember. I knew I was going to forget it, but the guy Branson, the dude that does Virgin Airlines. He does things a little differently, and it's over the top. I mean, it was pretty cool because there's no kids, on the cruise at all.
Okay. You had me now.
Yeah. And I mean, coming from a guy that's done like 6 or 7 Disney cruises with my family, over the years, that was different. It was pretty cool. There was plenty of stuff to do. But again, the food was just kind of meh. So by the time we were done, we're just like, want to come home and have a home cooked meal. It was like high on my list. Like I just wanted regular fucking food. You know?
I know what you mean about just eating out so many days in a row.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. The islands were just beautiful.
What was your favorite island you went to?
Barbados.
Really? Yeah. See, when I was in Barbados, it was windy. It was probably just the weather that day. It was windy as fuck, and I just didn't like it that much.
Yeah, no, it was probably the most enjoyable like tour that we did. And and we did a little beach time. Actually, we're oddly enough, we spent very little time on the beach because we didn't do any of the shore excursions. Because it's like, if haven't done as many cruises as we have, you know, unless it's something you really want to do, it's really just like a waste of money. Like if you go through a tour through them, it's like twice as much. So we kind of just took
got
our
off the boat
chances and
and
got off the boat and just
yeah,
let whatever happen. We walked around a couple ports, didn't really do much. Tried to just get as much like seeing of the local stuff as we could, and then we started doing tours and with every intention to like get a beach day, but it just didn't work out that way. But Barbados we did. It was really nice. Got a beach with you know a lounge chair and an umbrella, and we weren't even at the beach very long, but it was cool. It was very
I,
nice. But all the other
I
islands were, I mean, there was a couple ones that, I mean, overall, I don't think I ever need to go back to any of them. I think that's the
would
good thing about a cruise for me is that you get to see and experience, the places enough to where you can like, I would like to come back here. And I didn't get that vibe from any of those.
did you like Tortola?
Tortola was probably the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It was just, I don't know. It had a vibe that they were like in a rebuilding process. Like the downtown area was super, like, I don't want to say
Oh yeah, see, I
trashy
never
because
went to the town. I just chucked out. We were in the beach in the cove, and
yeah, maybe that was what we should have done because the downtown part and that was the very first stop. So we really didn't kind of have our plan figured out. But it was, yeah, that was probably the most least developed. And then what was the other one? There was a couple of them that were cool, but we did so many; they all blend together after a while. So, like,
did you didn't go to Virgin Gorda though?
no, no. Saint Lucia was pretty
Oh
cool
yeah,
too.
that's good.
Yeah, we
I've
did a
been there.
waterfall there. That was awesome. The windiest roads I think I've ever been on in my entire life. Like, I don't get car sick, um, but I was like borderline on the way back. I was like, this needs to end because
Would
I'm
you go to the Pitons?
yeah, we went past those.
Yeah,
Or no, I don't think we went all the way to them, but we're
you
on our way there.
you can't go
Yeah,
up them.
yeah. No, like it's like one road in, and it's just windy as fuck all the way
Yeah,
till
yeah.
the end. And there was a waterfall that we did go to that was like 60 feet. That was really cool. Um, what
Nice.
else?
Good
Yeah,
weather.
weather was perfect, dude. It was. I think probably 75% of it was all just like 75, 80 degrees, no rain. A couple days we got a little muggy and some rain here and there. Martinique that was another one I didn't care for too.
Hmm.
The French vibe there was people were not very welcoming. But it was cool, man. I mean, overall, it was. I mean, I think what I really wanted to like, what I really have to say is, I got a couple other funny stories too, but the most important and the most enjoyable part of that trip was, my wife and I our kids are almost grown. Our youngest is 16. The girls are older. And we've done a couple trips by ourselves, but this was probably for me personally too, because I'm a workaholic, right? I do my job. I have a side business. I do knives. I like, I'm always busy focusing on a lot of things, right? And and with the kids and life and all that stuff. But so somewhere around, I made it a point this trip to unplug from all of that. It actually came at like the absolute worst time that it could possibly come with all the changes that I have going on at work. Probably, yeah, I don't think there was a worse time for me to have taken so much time off, but it was planned way before we knew any of this stuff was happening. But so I did take my computer, and I did have some intentions to, like some morning when Lynn was sleeping in or something, I'd go downstairs and log on and try to work. But I ended up not doing anything. I completely unplugged
Nice. Well, good for you.
I completely unplugged from work, from Echo Blades, from kids, from the dogs, from social media. I mean, like the entirety of it all, and just really got to spend real quality time with my wife. And it was it's kind of sad because when you think about it, like it shouldn't take a trip like that to kind of not reconnect, but to have that quality uninterrupted time. But unfortunately, life's busy and sometimes that's what it takes. So that was absolutely the highlight of my trip, was just to be with my wife, and that was it, just to focus on her, because she puts up with a lot of my shit, and she deserves, I don't know if she deserves all of me. It's probably a punishment, but yeah, I was very, very, ask her, she might have a different opinion of it all, but yeah, no, it was really cool, man. We really enjoyed and had a lot of fun. So
Good. All right.
I
Get your
did
ass back to work now.
Yeah, I know. I did take a tour though with on the, I think it was the very last one that we did. We got in, and a couple funny things here. So we're you're together all that time, right? We've been married a long time, right? And we're not afraid to say bad things to each other. That's very much a part of our relationship. It's not. I don't believe in the perfect relationship. I'm not sure one exists. If you have it, been good for you. That is super awesome. But my wife and I are highly opinionated at times, and especially when we're tired and haven't had coffee, or et cetera, et cetera. So we're getting off, and I wanted to do something, and she wanted to do something else, and we were kind of like deciding on how we were going to do it. But when you get off these ships, man, you got to fucking fight this gauntlet of the locals. Just
Yeah.
and God bless them, right? Because I understand that this is their source of income. This is their, and I, coming from where I come, dude, I do not hate on people that try to get their hustle on, right? It's I respect it, and I understand it completely. But after 7 islands of it, and day after day of, like, how many times can you politely tell somebody no, and then you go 10 feet and you got to say no again, and then 10 feet and you got to say no again, and I wasn't in the best of moods either. And finally, this guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, all right," I'm gonna butcher the accent, but he's like, "Hey, man, what's the matter with you, man?" He's like, "You look pissed off. Like, you're supposed to be on vacation. Like, what's the matter with you?" Like that, and I was like, I was like, I should probably slap you in your face for talking to me like that, right? But I took the moment to stop and was like, you're fucking right. Like, so I took my sunglasses off, and I looked at him, and I put my hand out and I shook his hand, and I told him, I was like, "Thank you, man. I appreciate that." And he's like, "Well, you want to come on no, not going on your tour, but I do appreciate the change in perception of how things are going." So we make it all the way through this gauntlet, and we're gonna walk. But on this island, I guess it's a highly religious island, and it was on Sunday, and all the shops were shut. Everything was closed because everybody goes to church.
And what island? Which one is this?
I can't fucking remember. It's
The last one?
It's the very last one, very at the very end of that trail there. Bridgetown.
That's not an island.
Kings. That was another thing that kept fucking with me, is that the cruise line kept identifying the ports as the cities of the islands. So it would say, Kingtown, Bridgetown, something, Castries, St. Lucia, like it was, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? I don't know. What was it? One of them is St. John's, and actually, yeah, I don't know. They're all blending together.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyways, so this thing is all shut down. We're almost out of the town, and I'm like, fucking this one dude, just the last guy, comes up to me and he's like, "I know you've been through all these people." He's like, "And they're charging you this and charging you that." But he's like, $20 and I'll take you on the best tour that you've had, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I wanted to do something else. I had like an hour to kill. And I was like, well, I got about like an hour and a half or something like that. You want $20? You want to take us out? That's cool. I got to be back here by 12:30 to go do something else. And so we jump in the truck with him, and I look, and he gets in the passenger seat, and I look in because we're in like one row back in the back seat. I look in the middle, and this dude's got a big ass bag of weed sitting in between him and the fucking and right next to him on the and everybody's driving on the other side of the road. That was a mind fuck, because they're whatever their their territories are, British, English and France and all this crap. So so he's on the wrong side of the fucking car driving, and he's got this big ass bag of weed. And then we start going out. He ends up picking up this other Canadian couple, which I ran into a lot of fucking Canadian people. A lot of butter tart talk, dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And we start going out, and supposedly they filmed the Pirates of the Caribbean on this island.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's like, okay, you guys want to go out there? And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, oh, it's going to be another $15 or something like that for the trip. So I decided to forget the other plans that we had. And we get out there and we come back and we stop at this beach, and we get out and I go walk on the beach, like black sand beach, which wasn't, it looked like, it felt like dirty sand, like, because it was black. Like, I was so unimpressed with the black sand beach.
Yeah. Don't walk on them on a hot day.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell? So we come back and I look over, and I come from a less than easy upbringing, right? And I see this dude standing over in front on the hood of his car, and he's talking with this other dude, and I'm like, Lynn, like, this dude's fucking doing a deal right now. Like, they got bags on the fucking hood, and they're just selling or buying. I couldn't figure out if dude was pushing weed or if he was buying weed. Um, but nevertheless, he was doing his thing. Then he walks over and he grabs a beer and he fucking chugs a beer, and then goes around to the front, and I see
This
him.
is your driver?
Driver, yeah, chugs a beer. I'm like, okay, right. And then he goes over, and then I see him rolling a joint up, and he kind of goes out of sight a little bit, and see he takes a couple puffs and comes back. Then he comes back to the car, and this motherfucker can't find the goddamn keys for like 10 minutes. He's ripping, I mean, in his pockets, ripping under the seats, around, asking people all around. We got like all these locals like surrounding the car, like, and they're kind of like half making fun of him. And I'm like, oh, this is great. We're probably at the farthest end away from the ship as we could be. And this dude loses his car keys. Um, Anyways, then he like, I wish they were in the ignition, but they were not. But they were very, they were very, very close to like right in plain view. I didn't see him either, but um, so we go back, and the whole time there though, this fool was hauling ass. Like the driving there. I told Lynn, I said, if you ever say anything about my driving again after this trip, like you're you're out of your mind, because I'm pretty sure we almost died like a handful of times, because there's no speed limits. There's like all one lane roads. They're on the other side of on the wrong side of the road. Like it was a little stressful sometimes. He's hauling ass there. He was on our way back. Fucking guy's going like 5 miles an hour the whole fucking way.
It's because he's stoned out of his mind.
He was doted. He was just absolutely blazed. He turns around, he looks at us, and he's like, sometimes you just got to take the medication, and he puts a little like the weed, to the mouth type thing. And he's like, and not take life so serious, and we're just going to, and cruise. And I mean, and people were like walking past us. Like, it's like people getting out of church, and like, you could have had a whole conversation with somebody on the side of the road. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That sounds like probably what my vacation is going to be like in Jamaica in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't doubt it, dude. There was a lot of weed everywhere I went. Someone was trying to sell me weed. I kept trying. Nah, I don't drink. I don't smoke. Which was kind of a tough spot for me, because normally I would not participate in somebody drinking, and you know what I mean. Like the whole thing goes against a lot of who I am today.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can impose that stuff when you're on an island across the world. But yeah, and then the ship was like split between Americans and others.
Right.
And
Always is.
I guess, I don't know. I guess especially with knife making, how vast my exposure to other cultures has got. A lot of Canadians, but as you travel and you start like interacting with more people as you get older. For me, anyways, that's been my experience. I have a very narrow minded American view of how everything is, and like being exposed to other cultures. There was two comedians on, and one was Canadian and one was from it was English, and they did a whole couple the bits on the difference between Americans and everyone else, and it was funny. It was really cool to kind of experience and chat up people from other areas. One guy from the UK was bitching and complaining about how he kept telling me that when you talk to Donald Trump, tell him that we're pals. I was like, what do you mean you're pals? He's like, we stormed the beaches together. We live in a free world because America and we beat the Germans. And like, he was pissed off that he had got like shuttled like cattle into when he got into Miami to do his transfer flight. He was pissed. And a whole bunch of other stuff, but it was cool.
Well, it sounds like a good time. Did you talk to anybody about knife making? This is always my question.
I did. I gained 2 followers.
Good.
Yeah. And but I was very limited. I made it a point to not, do it. Like, I wore my Echo Blade shirt a couple times and had a couple conversations with a handful of people. And then had a little more in-depth conversation with a couple couples, and that came up, and so that was cool. But it was very, very minimal. Like, and it was purposeful because of me trying to be attentive was the word that I was focusing on. Trying to be attentive to my wife. Yeah. So not too much Echo Blades.
Good. Well,
surprisingly enough, and I'll shut up after this. Surprisingly enough, Puerto Rico, which is a place that I never thought I would ever go, but we did fly into there, spend a night and half a day, and then we came back and we spent another day there. Was fucking beautiful. It was really, really, really awesome. The old town San Juan was probably, when I say my favorite island was Barbados, I think overall, probably the most enjoyable, less stress time I had was in Puerto Rico. It was really, really, really cool.
Cool. Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah, I it's a place I never thought I would ever have been or visited, but it's pretty cool. I do know that I think one time Fader was talking about when he went over to I can't think of the guy he visits in Spain or something. God, what is his name? His buddy,
Florentine Kitchen Knives.
Florentine Kitchen Knives. Yeah. He goes over there. He talks about his guts betraying him. Oh God. I do know that I'll save you guys the details, but I experienced 2 types of bathrooms in Puerto Rico. One where the toilet seat was so high. I'm not a little dude. And I swear to God, I got to like hop up on this toilet, and like my feet were like dangling.
It really was a throne.
It was a throne, yeah. And then the other version was like, it was for a very small person. But yeah, that was eventful to say the least.
I remember being in Jamaica, and one of the first times, probably the first time I was there, and I remember the urinals on the wall were so high you had to like stand like 3 feet back and like get an arc going.
You know why, buddy? Because you ain't equipped the same way those guys are.
Yeah, right. They don't get the tip wet.
No, yeah, they throw it over their shoulder and do it backwards.
Oh man, this podcast is degraded.
Oh, so good.
So, but you've been back a week. Have you done anything knife related?
I have done zero. I have done zero. I got back on Tuesday. When I got back, I was up for 28 hours when we came back because we're 4 hours ahead. And the night before, for whatever reason, I fucking couldn't sleep, and I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning that time, and we didn't get back into San Francisco, our SFO, until midnight our time, and then waiting for the
4 a.m.
Huh?
So yeah. 4 a.m.
Yeah. And then we didn't get back to the house until about almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because of the bags. I was trying to tell, if you fly into SFO at whatever time you land in, you're almost an hour plus till you get to your car. Oh, that's if everything goes sweet. Like
if you got to pick up bags, you're at least an hour to your
car. Least. Yeah. And then you got the tram back and all that. So we didn't get back, and we're about an hour something from there. So it was almost like 2:45 by the time we got back to the house. So, and then I went to sleep, slept for 4 hours, and then went to work the next day.
Man.
So I was pretty spent the Thursday and the Friday. Saturday I golfed. Did a golf tournament with Jeff. That was cool. Finally got to see him. I got to fucking golf with him because he's making parts for some asshole all day long. And then Sunday I had every intention on either hitting you up and getting together or just spending some time in my shop, but I ended up sleeping fucking the whole day. Like,
You didn't even watch football games?
Yeah, I did.
Both of
I mean,
which
I
were
did.
depressing?
Yeah, I got up and hung around the house. I was like, oh, I'll get around. I was like 9, 10. I took a fucking nap, and then I woke up, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, and then I'm like, oh, the games are gonna start, and then, like it was a wash. I went to bed at 7:00 last night, and still slept all night too. So I guess it was a little catch up, but
yeah. Well, I've had a pretty eventful time while you were gone.
Yeah, tell me about it.
What did I do? Started the folder series.
I did catch those two. Very cool.
Good. Yep. So that's working well. It'll be the third install this week. I don't know if I'm going to get one next. I might tape them both this week for this week and next week. So yeah, folders is going really well. It's actually pretty close because I got to do bolsters and bevel the blade and shit like that. But then I'm going to do that special treatment on all the titanium to turn it black. This is going to be like a blacked out blade with actually it was Parker's idea to do a black, like a dark stone wash on the blade, and then everything will be black because it's like black carbon fiber with like the silver flecks in it, and then all the titanium will be black, the liners, everything.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I think that'd be cool. Yeah, did that. I finally put that new shed up to get all the crap out of the garage. What are you pointing at?
The notes.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of Damascus work. The mosaic for the keyhole is almost done. I just got to do the final restack for it.
Oh, okay. The one the billet that I named?
The billet you named.
Yeah, I wrote you the note on the pattern. We can't say it.
I don't see the note, so I don't know what you're talking about.
All
right. Yes, it did that, and then the other mosaic is done. Like it's in bar form, so it's ready to be turned into a knife. So that'll actually probably be the one I do after the two buoys that I'm working on, which are these like dual nickel. There's no video on these. I'm just doing these in the meantime. Okay. So yeah, tons of like four different builds going on right now, but yeah, it's been good.
Very cool. I heard you had some exciting news or some upcoming news for on Maritime with the folder stuff.
Yes. Been talking to Lawrence, and his folder section on Maritime Knife Supply is going to be available soon. So hopefully before this series is over, you'll be able to get folder parts on Maritime, including, cool. I think he's even planning on having titanium and all of the drills you need, the reamers, all that stuff. And I think one of the things he and I have talked about is having a cheat sheet, here's a list of everything you need. If you want to make a liner lock, this is everything you need.
Oh, that's cool.
Not just a liner lock, because that was the most problem. Like that was the biggest challenge. And one of the reasons why I took the course, to figure out what the hell do I need? Right. So I'm going to help. I'm going to probably make that cheat sheet. Like, hey, you need a number 54 drill. You need a number 53 drill. And here's what those two are for. And you need this and you need this. And like list out what every one of those things is for.
Yeah. You were on the last video. You were like, yeah, you can try this bit, but it's a little costly. It's about $105. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, that's a solid carbide counterbore
Yeah.
for those 256 bolt heads, those
Yeah.
titanium bolts. And
So you
yeah,
got, so I only bring that up because us poor people just want to see the needs and the would be cools. Because
yeah. I just got one of those. It is a, you can do it with a drill. It just doesn't,
yeah,
you got to play with the depth a little more because the
right,
drill has an angle on it, but
right.
the
That was a
counterbore's
counterboard for the bearing, right?
no for the bolt heads,
For the bolt heads. Okay.
for all the little machine screws.
Oh, okay.
It counterbores those into the bolster and into your scales.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was like, I did a double take rewind. I'm like, how much for this?
Well, the counterbore to do the bearings, those are also $110 for those,
Oh, jeez.
but they're solid carbide. That's
Yeah.
why you
Yeah.
need the big carbide ones for the and
Gotcha.
you can't really do without it for bearings.
You're right on.
Yeah. But I spoke to Mr. Coy Baker today.
Before you do that, but if you're looking for any other knife
Oh,
making
yeah,
needs, yeah, you should go check out after you're done looking at the needs and wants section in the full folder of the upcoming new release from Maritime and Knife Supply. For all your other knife making needs, you should go there. They got everything. They got your abrasive steel, parts, tools, everything you need to get busy with knife making. Lawrence has it, and he'll get it to you in a jiffy.
in a jiffy.
In a jiffy.
Yeah,
So
so
go
I'm
check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
move on to our next sponsor because I'm about to talk about them, which
Let's do
is
it.
Baker Forge and Tool
Ooh.
for your premium needs for Damascus. I think the one they just released was Ice Storm, I
Yep,
guess.
yep. Ice
Which
Storm's coming out in raindrop, wavy, chevron, and never before released a ripple pattern.
nice, which is one
Yeah,
of the most popular patterns they have. So
that's right.
yeah, check out Baker Forge and Tool. Use the discount code Triple T10. Use the app to find out about early drops as fast as they come out. You can also find Baker Forge on Maritime Knife Supply and get yourself some gator piss for that premier etchant
That's right.
for your Baker Forge Damascus or any Damascus.
Nice. I just enjoyed a nice cup of gator piss with my gator piss mug this weekend. That
Oh,
was it was very enjoyable. It had a little extra flavor in it. So
you should watch it more.
no.
But yeah, this no, it was this. When the hell was it? What day is it? Monday. It was this morning. I was talking to Coy on the phone,
Same. Oh, I didn't
uh,
talk to him on the phone, but yeah.
planning out his visit, what we're gonna do. And he said, contrary to what Jerid says, he didn't actually have a plan. Um,
Fucking
but
God damn it, Coy. Don't you know how to keep anything going, man?
I knew you didn't have a plan anyway. But we do now. So we're
Good.
not gonna let that cat out of the bag for the public. You'll see a bunch of social media on it when he's here, uh,
Awesome.
and something that he's bringing that he wouldn't even tell me. So it's a bit of a surprise. He might not. We might not even be allowed to talk about it. I don't know.
I don't think we are, but I think I have an idea.
Oh,
That might be the thing that I was toying with you about, but this is
oh,
cool. I'm excited.
okay. I'm not sure what it is, but
Uh, I think
um,
I have an idea.
yeah. But yeah, that's going to be a fun visit. That will be only a couple days after I get back from Jamaica. So yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
a quick turnaround. And yeah, I'm not going to get much accomplished in February, but or
Yeah.
March for
Tell me
that matter.
what's happening in March. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. Congrats.
um, yeah,
That's all brand new.
I'm teaching 5 days of classes. No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 days of classes in a row. In a row. Two different students in early March, and then on the starting the 21st, I'll be flying up to Seattle. Um, and I had one of my, I think I mentioned last episode, one of my Patreon members reach out and say, actually, I'm not even sure it's patron. I don't remember. But reach out and say, hey, I hear you're going to be in the area. So I'm teaching his class for 2 days and then going to see Dave and Mareko.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be a whole 7 whole days in Seattle or the Seattle area.
Cool.
Yeah. So all that's finalized and flights are booked and hotels, and it's quite the trip because it's like 3 different hotels and rental
Very
car,
cool.
and yeah. Hopefully there's no snow up there by then. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. So
Exciting.
yeah, lots. But it's great because one of the class that I'm teaching in March is twice in March actually. The early one is guards and handle class, which is also what I'm teaching in when I go up to Seattle. And that is also what I'm going to be doing along with Kumai. I'm going to be doing at the Midwest Knife Makers Guild Hammer in Minneapolis.
When is that?
That's in August.
August. Okay.
August.
Cool.
And oh, by the way, yeah, I know I've been harassing you about going to Blade, Texas. I can't go to Blade, Texas because
Yeah, no.
I'm
I
teaching
heard.
that weekend.
I heard.
Yeah,
I still may go because I like hanging out with Noah and Micah and Ryan better
yeah,
than you anyway.
you
So
should go. It's a good show. I like that
yeah.
show. I liked it better than Utah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to do because I think I'm going to be in Dallas like 2 weeks before for work.
Mm.
So I don't know if
And
that's going to work out.
I don't know why they fucking do this. It's a Friday Saturday show.
Yeah.
Like, why are you making Saturday Sunday? I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's weird.
I wish they would. If they did that on, I literally think I'm going to miss it by like a week. So if I do go, I'll be coming back and then going right back. It
Yeah,
might be a little bit too much Texas for me, but we'll see.
yeah. But so we gonna do some forging this week before I go, or you got other plans?
Yeah, no, I think we are. Because you
All
know what I
right.
need to do is bust out my two bastards fat peen because it's been sitting all nicely stored in a bag in my forging bag after being repeatedly beat on for so while. Because you got to beat your peen like all day long, and if you put it away, it starts to act funny. So
Yeah,
yeah, if you're interested in in a a hammer, you got to go check out Frank and Nita at Two Bastards Hammer and get yourself a fat peen. They got all the peens that you need: straight, cross, diagonal, crooked, curvy, wavy, all of it. So go check that out because you know Denis always says,
ain't it grand to have a fat peen in your hand?
"I."
Sometimes you need 2 hands.
That's right. If you're in Jamaica in a urinal. Sorry.
Yes, I will be. I plan on. I'm gonna use that 1080 railroad spike I got from Mr. Jeff Dodderman at Maker's Camp. I think I'm going to forge that into a knife. I've never made a railroad spike knife, so I think this will be fun.
Yeah, no, I think I might join you doing that then because I actually purchased a couple of them from Lawrence, and that was something else. Like the day before I left, I got this pretty big shipment from Lawrence for. I got all kinds of 1/4 inch steel. I got 2 of those 1080 railroads spikes. I got a bunch of shit, and I was just walking in my shop a second ago, which I got another great story. um Saw this box on the table. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I looked and I'm like, oh my god, this is I must have been planning on like doing a reel or something about it before I'd left and never got to it. But yeah, I had a pretty big order from Lawrence before I left.
Nice.
And then but I go back out to my shop, and when I came home, I go in the shop and there's my son has a fishing bag, like a backpack fishing tackle bag, and it's laying on the ground right next to my fridge. And I look at it, and it's kind of like half open, but he had like a bag of chips or something left inside of the bag.
Okay.
And I look, and I'm like, what the fuck? And there's like lures and Senko worms and shit all spread on the ground, and like package ripping out. And it takes me a second. I realize that I got another fucking critter. I got another critter in my shop.
Yeah,
And
he's
he had
16.
Yeah, besides him. But the critter got into the bag and started ripping all of the, like, getting into the like the lures, like I said, and ripped open the bag of chips, and there was probably nothing but crumbs in it anyways. But there's shit all over the ground, and then there's like, I look and the further, there's fucking little mouse turds everywhere. I'm like, mother. So I'm like, okay, all right, I gotta figure that out, get some traps going and stuff like that. This morning, we're getting ready to go to work, and because I didn't do shit this weekend, right? So Captain put it to the last minute. We're getting ready for work, and something goes off, the toaster and some shit. The breaker flips, and I'm like, God damn it! So I go outside, flip the light on, and my breaker is behind. It's that black fridge.
Yeah.
The breaker's behind that. So every time I gotta go to the breaker, I gotta move the big fridge out of the way. And I go and I fucking yank the fridge out of the way. I'll be a son of a bitch, Dennis, if a fucking mouse didn't jump off from the top of the fridge against the wall.
I would have paid so much money to have that videoed.
Oh my god, dude! It
Did you
was, and it is a decent size. It ain't a rat; it's a mouse, but it was a pretty
did you
plumpy
scream
little
like a girl?
fucker, dude. I I fucking, it was
Oh
not.
God, that would have been so
Oh my
good.
god, I was like, it was like slow motion though. I could like see him. He had like a little chef's hat on and like Remy from the Disney movie. Like, and I was like, what's going on? Dude, I got attacked by Remy. He falls on the ground. He's all fucking, his hair's all disheveled and shit like that. And I couldn't even, like, I was frozen. Like, I couldn't even like
You,
kick at it or do anything. And then it scurries off. And I'm like, holy shit.
you woke
So
up out of bed.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I was like, how dare. But I'm like, why are you up on the top of the fridge, dude? Like, what I don't know what's going on up there. So now I gotta exterminate some more rodents out of my shop.
Well, you heard last episode with Kyle what I found in the shop.
No, I don't recall.
Okay, so you know where on my main work table, you know where the sandpaper is?
Yes.
The rolls of the sandpaper?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
A 2-inch, like leg to leg, a 2-inch black widow. Biggest black widow I've ever seen.
Even bigger than the one that was in the
Anvil?
yeah.
Bigger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bigger.
Ugh.
And it's like right where I put my feet when I'm sanding.
Ah. And you're a freaking hippie too. You wear those sandals sometimes.
Not
Gross.
anymore. He's probably got a whole brood of baby spiders back there now.
Oh god, that's horrific. That's horrific. I don't know. I just walked out there this afternoon to do something. I don't know, and I'm every. I'm like, I got my head's on a swivel. I'm like, oh my god.
Mice are just annoying. They're not like scary. They're not going to hurt you.
No, I understand
Just
that. They're
yeah.
scary. They're gonna scare the shit out of me because he's got a fucking chef hat on, dude. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. When I was doing the dual Bowie knife builds today, I was working on guards, and I used those belts that those blue belts.
Yes.
I don't know how to describe them or what brand they are, but I used one, and it said 400 on the back, so I'm assuming it was 400, and it lasted about. Hopefully, these aren't from Maritime or whatever. He doesn't make
No,
them.
they're not.
Um, it okay. So to be fair, I had it on. I put it on a small wheel. First, I put it on a platen, like without like a slack platen, because I was trying to sand a guard. There's some curves I had to do. So, and then I needed to do the back of the curve of the the whatever the horn of the guard,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. And I put it on the small wheel, and it took probably about 90 seconds, and it pulled the belt, like where the seam was on that belt.
Yeah.
Fucking sheared it. It was hitting me, and then all of a sudden,
Oh,
gone.
geez.
Yeah. So either don't put them on a small wheel, or maybe
I
I just
think I think if I remember correctly, they were called machine polishing belts. So I think they're probably only made for
Yeah.
slack, and they go up to like ridiculous high grits.
Yeah, I think you had one that said 2000 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it was probably my fault, but yeah, if you use those, and I actually, the tension on my small wheel is pretty high too, so that probably didn't help.
oh, okay.
But they did work. It was working great, but
Until it popped.
because it started like going flapping, and then I looked, and like part of it was like peeled up from the backing, and it was
Yeah.
hitting me every time. But it was working.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
And I
sucks.
and I did had to redo a handle today, which I was not pleased about. I haven't drilled through a handle in a long time. And when I was drilling, I guess the hole for the tang, I guess when I was, when you carve it with the bit sometimes,
Yeah.
I guess I went too far down. And then when I put that curve I always put on the back of the handle, fucking right through the back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was not. It was a few curse words, and I had to redo that whole.
Was it a good piece of wood?
It was a piece of ironwood, so it
Oh,
was not. I had like 5 others, so wasn't the end of the world. It's like
gotcha.
an hour to get back to where I was.
That sucks.
Yeah. But I'm trying to get that build. Those two things are identical. So it's the same guard, the same spacer, the same handle configuration, all that stuff. So I can't just like randomly put
And why are you doing these knives? This is
just no, just
it's not
doing
an
it.
order?
No.
Huh. Okay.
I just made this nickel gomai, like Damascus cladded nickel gomai a while ago. And I saw it in the drawer and I figured out I would start doing it. But I was saying last episode, like these are the ones like I'm spending a lot of time on these, like more than I would have.
Oh, that's right.
These are the
Gotcha.
ones I'm trying to like make master quality. I don't know if
Gotcha.
I'm going to get there, but I'm hoping I'm going to bring these two to Dave and have him review these two.
Gotcha.
Just to see how that's one of the goals of these two. And probably, I don't know if I'll get it. Oh yeah, no, I'll get it done in time. It's the end of March. Is the either the keyhole or the other buoy build that I'm
Gotcha.
working on, the Damascus one. So that one will be done by then too.
Okay.
So I'd like to have 3 knives to bring down. I'm going for an actual course. I'm doing a fuck, what's it called? Frame handle. Doing a frame
Oh,
handle buoy. So
gotcha.
one of those is going to be the blade of the frame handle. So I'll see what I do.
Gotcha.
But
well, cool.
yeah,
You a little lesson taker, you?
yeah. Wanted to get so actually wanted to take one from Salem, but he's like 5.5 hours from he's like southeast Washington. And if I'm going to be there for
Oh, maybe I got to figure that out because he's probably closer to my work area then. I go to Vancouver.
Yeah,
Which
he
is
probably is.
which is just on the other side of Portland.
Yeah, he probably is closer because he's no, wait, I could be thinking of. I
No, I
looked at
don't think
Noah. No, he's upper. Noah's in the bottom right, and
no, Noah's in the middle.
Yeah,
Because
but
he's like
like
4
east.
hours. He's
Yeah,
like 4 hours from wherever I am. I hit
yeah,
him up. I was like, I'm gonna be in the area. He's like, yeah, no, you're not. We're not close.
because
I was like,
he's like 3 hours, 2.5 hours from Seattle.
gotcha. Okay.
But he's the one that's in kind of the bottom of the map I was looking at. Sorry, Salem is up in the upper right, like near
Gotcha.
to Spokane, I
Salem,
think.
Spokane. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was far, like not far enough that I couldn't do that in another class because there'd be like 2 travel days, and that was just too long. So
that was cool. I did some fishing up there in Washington when I was there before I left. We had a team building exercise, and we went out to some lake. I can't even remember the name of the little. It was the
wasn't
guy
Lake
that
Washington, was it?
what?
Was it Lake Washington?
No,
No.
it wasn't like Washington. I can't. I'm not going to be able to pull it because I need to. But the guide that we went with was like hesitant to even go out with us because I guess during this time of year there's not many options to go.
Like fish to catch, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the kind of because it's a big salmon area, but we're just not in season for that. So we it was like a little small salmon trout looking thing, a coakley or God, I can't remember the name of the fish. But we just went out on this lake and trolled. Oh, dude, it was the absolute the coldest I've ever been on a boat. It was a big ass lake. There was fucking whitecaps. Like it was windy as fuck. Like, and we were out there all day. It was fucking like I love fishing. It's one of my favorite things to do, and that took pushed the limits there of like how cold. I don't think it got over like 45 degrees the entire day, and we were out there when it was in the high 30s, and was when we took off. And but it was cool. It was fun. We caught a lot of
It doesn't
fish.
sound that cold.
We caught a lot of fish though. Like the fish were
And they're all
the
trout?
action was fun, huh?
They're all trout?
It was like a trout salmon-y mix. I'll try to figure out the name, but it was like the only thing that was biting there during that time. But we didn't have enough spots to fill the whole boat, but we had to pay for the whole boat just for the guy to come out, because
Yeah, of
like he
course.
said, he was like, yeah, it's not really worth it unless that happens. But that was fun. It was good. It was a good time. It was just freezing though. Fucking freezing.
You're such a fucking California.
It was cold. It was fucking cold.
When you say
The local guys were like miserable too. It was not. It was a cold day on the lake, dude. So I didn't feel so bad. Believe me, I will raise my hand. I'm a bitch because
when I was a kid, I remember my dad taking me ice fishing, and I fucking hated it because it was so cold. We weren't like, fancy enough to have one of the little sheds. We were just standing on the ice shivering.
yeah,
I hated it.
when we were on our way back to the dock, it was like I'm gonna have to show you, but it was like I mean, we were like fucking up the. It was the fucking waves coming over.
You're
Like
in a lake, right? Not the ocean.
I'm telling you, I felt like we were on the goddamn ocean. Everybody was soaked to the bone from all the spray from everything coming around. It was horrible, dude. It was not a good way to end it. But
Did you guys keep any fish, or was it all like catch and
we
release?
gave it all to one of the local guys that we were fishing with that live up there.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he had like fucking. It was a lot of fish. We caught like, I think our limit was 30, and we had every bit of that.
Wow!
So it was a lot of fish.
So did you have to get a 1-day fishing license from Washington?
Yep.
How much was that?
Like $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad. The company paid for it, so it wasn't like I had to get it. But
because if I got an extra day and I could course Dave to go fishing, he's a big fishing guy.
Oh yeah, do it.
Yeah,
I just don't know what's popping there. We're talking about going back for salmon time because
he just did a video. He just put a video up a couple of days ago of doing steelhead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know if it was son. I don't think it was a son. Pretty young, with this big giant steelhead in his hands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I do know that Walmarts aren't unique to the people watching. that is everywhere.
That is a weird segue.
Washington, because that's where I got my fishing license. We flew in that night, and we ended up going to a Walmart at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, and it was the only thing that was open. And yeah, the people watching was fantastic there. Washington, I've seen a lot of shit living in the Bay Area, right? In Oakland, the homeless, the transient community is plentiful here. I have never in my life have I ever seen a camp on the exit, the turnaround after you get off the freeway. There was a camp in the middle, and they had a fucking bonfire going in the middle, right across kitty corner from the Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. like open flame, like whole. I was like, where am I at, dude? Like, I swear I got on a plane and left the Bay Area, but apparently I landed back in it. So,
Well, okay, I got to tell you a story. So when I went back to Canada in December, I guess Guelph, the small town outside of Toronto where I'm from, small town, it's like a 200,000 people, but downtown Guelph, I guess they had a homeless encampment downtown, right beside the Eaton Center for like 3 weeks. There was a
oh,
homeless camp downtown. Like we're talking like the central square downtown. That's where they had the
oh,
yeah, it was bizarre.
oh, it was a convention.
Yeah. So, you think about if you're going to be homeless, like pick somewhere warm like the Bay Area. Don't pick Canada.
Yeah,
But
I
again, you don't
agree.
have a choice. But anyway,
Eh,
I do have a funny Rick story. You want to hear one?
yes.
So so my buddy Rick, he must be getting old because he bought a
It
new
must be.
he must be. He bought a new mill. He's gonna kill me for telling the story. He bought a new mill, right? And the thing weighs like 2,000
No,
pounds.
that's good because that fucker fucking dug me pretty good in the opening of that first sentence. He said something about, "Yeah, I can't get him to shut up." So this is what you get, fucker. Come on, tell me.
So he gets a rental company and he's getting a forklift in order to move this mill. And he gets on the phone with the guy and he's fucking bitching him out like, where the fuck is my forklift? It's fucking 11 o'clock. You guys are supposed to be here at 10. And the guy said, yeah, we're supposed to be there at 10 on Thursday. And he goes, well, fucking today's Thursday. And he's like, no, today's Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. And Rick goes, oh, yeah, it is Wednesday.
Maybe I'll go back to taking my nap.
He told me that story. I'm like, man, you are getting old.
Oh, that's good.
But
That's
he did show me the mill. It's all set up now. Looks nice.
very cool.
I'm envious of a giant mill like that, but oh well.
I don't know which kind he got, but
It's like a big. It's like a
Bridge,
bridge. It's not an
like a
actual Bridgeport, but it's like a Bridgeport.
Bridgeport
A big
esque.
knee mill.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And fucker, he called me today and he was like gloating of like all the new tools he just bought. He just bought a pantograph and one of those filing machines with the file that goes up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he just bought one of those too for like $50
Whoa.
or $80, or it was less than 100. Like you
Oh.
asshole.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I did. While I was out on my cruise floating around in the water, I ordered a rotary platen from Ameriblade.
Yes, I saw
And
the
yeah,
video.
and got it all hooked up and ready. I am stoked for that. That thing's cheat mode. That thing is cheat mode. Like, what have I been doing? Like, why? Why has it taken me this long?
Between that and so I'm I've said many times I don't like doing chef knives that much, but now I got to do another chef knife because I have the Tobin jig
Yep.
plus the rotary platen. So the S grinds will be super easy. The edge grind is going to be super easy because of the rotary platen jig combo. Yeah, it is like a cheat
Oh, we're
code.
down. I love making the chef. That's like my jam right now. And this just after I used the Tobin jig and the rotary platen that you had, I was like, this is where it's at. I got
Yeah.
so many comments of like, oh yeah, I love mine. And
Yeah. What took
like,
you so long?
yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, and it's
So
funny because I remember it was now 2 years ago we saw Morocco use it at Maker Camp, or is it 3 years ago?
yeah. I think that kind of brings up a good point. Like there's for me anyways, being newer, there's like times where I realized that I had amazing opportunities to witness things like Morocco's demo, the very first makers camp that we went to, where he forged a knife from a micro billet. right? I watched it all. I saw it. How much comprehension I had, and like
Yeah.
true comprehension, very minimal. And then watching him, grind and with the rotary platen and the way he did all that stuff, it's like I remember seeing it, but like I think today it would be an entirely different experience to watch that kind of demo because of how I've progressed and how much more exposure I've had to those types of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Even then, back then, it didn't occur to me to ask him. And even I had the question in my head. I'm like, well, why the rotary platen? What does it do for you?
Yeah.
That, like, why not a regular platen? Like, what's the difference? Is
Right.
it just heat dissipation? Is it, so now I get it. It's got a little flex to it. You can change it to a slack. And it doesn't build up a lot of heat because that rubber
That's
over the
odd. That
platen
I remember
rotates.
you kept saying that, but I've been getting a lot of comments and suggestions on doing something to actually cool it down because it does generate a lot of heat, like
I
a
didn't
platen
find.
chiller, or somebody suggested like putting a worn Scotch Brite behind it to kind of in between the platen and the rubber to kind of help with that too. But or a misting system, a platen chiller, and something other. But I've had actually quite a few recommendations on stuff to help keep the heat down because it can get hot.
Hmm.
I didn't experience it with when I used the one at your
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, I have the Broadback one. I don't think it's like any revolutionary different
Yeah,
design than the
heat
Ameribrand one.
dissipating. Yeah, yeah.
But just the notion that it's rolling over rollers instead of just dragging a belt across a platen. I mean, I guess the rubber friction
Can
um, over
can
the
build up
platen.
some heat. Yeah, I guess that's part of it too. Is like to preserve the life of that rubber belt.
Yeah. But I
Keeping it
get
cool can
if
help.
you're using the slack portions, it should
Yeah,
be really cool. It should stay very cool
yeah,
because
I agree.
there's pretty much no friction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm stoked. I'm glad I did it, and it's here. I'm ready to get busy on it.
Yeah. Get busy.
Yeah, you get busy.
Speaking of getting busy, I got busy with some Pelican paste. I did that sheath for that puzzle piece Bowie knife, and
Nice.
I slathered that thing in Pelican paste. Did the edges, turned out really nice. Pelican paste for the win. So get yourself some Pelican paste, hard wax, soft wax. I got some in my teeth apparently.
What the fuck?
Pelican oil, hand salve, soap, um, you name it. He's got it, and it smells like oranges. It's the best part.
Yeah, I
So
want to. I good.
get yourself some Pelican paste. Use the discount code triple T10. That's TTT10.
I want
Noah.
to see if anybody actually picked up on that joke.
What?
What in the flock? Oh, dad jokes for the win.
Yeah.
Actually, while we were on the plane, I don't know which plane it was. Doesn't really matter. But Lynn, Mrs. Echo Blades, pulled out her personal hand salve tin that Travis had sent her, and we lathered up against all the dirty germs that are present on the plane. But I thought that was pretty cool. I think I did a post for Pelican paste. Don't leave home without it.
And you smelled like oranges.
And I smelled like oranges. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you got to get your ass back in gear and get back to that knife with the grip tech scales on it. I want to see it
Yes.
finished.
Yes. I know it's going to a really good home too when I get done. But
Damn right it is.
yes, and you're looking for a grippy tech, different feel for your handle scales, go check out Rock Solid Scales. They got the grip tech and many other products there to add a little extra flair and comfort to your handles. Um, and you can use the discount code triple T10 to get 10% off your next purchase there as well. So
Yeah, Kyle and I
awesome.
were talking about that stuff for a while. I guess he's also a sponsor for them. So, yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah, no, that's getting busy, man. I'm seeing them all over the place. I'm seeing a lot of content from people using the stuff, and we're happy to have them on board. And um, we'll go get you some for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do Maker Spotlight.
Okay.
All right, who you got?
What if I don't want to say what I got? No, I got a good one here. I got my guy here is a friend of mine, and a maker that I have looked up to for a long time. I've learned a fucking metric fuck ton through conversations and examples, and he is actually the proud owner of an Echo Blades. He was probably the first maker actually to show the actual interest and get one in his hands. So I got Mr. Nick Tobin from Pickle Cutters. If you guys are not following Nick, I don't know where the hell you're living these days, but you need to go check him out. He has 7,280 followers and just does awesome stuff. Makes his own. Still watching him start making Damascus and Kumais to the things that he's putting out now, it's really cool. And he's always coming up with different style of knives. Does have some flagship stuff, but I just love the innovation and the way he is always doing different things and pushing the envelope there. So go check out Pickle Cutters. That's pickle underscore KUTTERZ.
It's a Z, right? Because
Z. Yeah.
okay, neither one of them is coming up for me.
Pickle.
Pickle.
Yeah. PIK.
Yeah.
Or CKLE underscore KUTT.
Underscore. You missed an underscore.
No, you did because
Yes.
I'm looking at it. So,
no, I'm reading your link in the notes, is what I'm saying. I
oh,
just clicked on the link. I'm like, that link's not working, and I know I
I got
follow
you. Yeah.
Nick. So.
I actually typed that in, so that's a very, very good chance. Yes, you're right.
Good, because I would have copied it into the show notes. So.
Yeah, I was free balling.
Free balling.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
this week, when I troll Instagram, I'm trying to get into the habit of copying some profiles that I don't recognize into
sure.
my notes here, and I found this one, and it goes by Bird Thirds. So Bird, no underscore, Bird Thirds, as in first, second, thirds. He's got 1,221 followers. His name is Ambrose Volkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in some city I'm not going to try to pronounce in Australia, and has just some really cool folding knives. Of course, you'll know I'm
Coonabarra brand.
Coonabarra brand, New South Wales, Australia. All right, I'm sure our Australian friends are going to butcher us for that pronunciation, but
whatever, Toby.
yeah.
You don't even live there anymore.
He's laughing at us. I can hear it. Yeah, Bird Thirds. Check them out. Lots of real cool folders.
Look at these pizza cutters, dude.
Yeah, I knew you were going to look at that.
Oh my goodness, that thing is badass.
Yeah, a lot of chef knives. Yeah, you got one that's like a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
pizza cutter down
with a holder, like a stand.
Yeah,
that thing's badass.
Yeah, some cool stuff. So yeah, go check them out.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a good one, Dennis.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I get good ones once in a while.
Yeah, every now and again.
Try me, bitch. Try me, bitch.
Yeah, if you're not following this dude, which I am not, and I am now, that's a good one.
Yeah, give our Australian brothers a lift.
So I got a funny story too. So while I was gone, I in one of the islands was previously under British rule or whatever. They had a lot of rum on these islands, right? And there was something called like Puffners or Puffers rum or some shit like that. So I took a picture, then I sent it over to Toby, I'm like, what in the hell are you fuckers doing? Like, what is this? It's very close to another word. We can, if you use your imagination, puffers or and
Poof.
poofers. Oh God, I can't remember exactly what it was. So, and I sent it to him just to to send it, and I get this fucking super Toby message back like, I don't know what the fuck this is, mate. Like, you ever heard of Google? And like, it just
You
like
didn't get it
this.
was a joke.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, man. But I was like, I had to clarify to him a couple times, like, listen, let's just get this clear. If I ever ask you something, I've chosen not to Google this, and I'm asking you directly. Like, I don't need you to specify that there's a way for me to figure this out on my own. I'm asking because I want you to tell me. And that turns into this whole thing. And I actually listened to one of the last Fire and Steel podcasts, and Honor was going off about like how stupid Americans are because we're so dumb because we have to say things for what they exactly are, like a windshield. And I'm like, so I hit him back and I'm like, what the fuck is this all about, dude? Like what is he all fired up for? And he's like, he goes on to this whole thing. He's like, well, the windshield's not the worst example. He's like, because that actually makes a little bit of sense. And he goes, well, we call it a windscreen. I'm like, okay, but he's like, when you guys talk about, when you call things like eyeglasses and horseback riding and sidewalk, like, and he goes on to these examples about like, like, because obviously Americans are so stupid that if we didn't say we're the sidewalk, we'd walk in the middle of the street, or if we talk about we're horseback riding, we'd try to ride the horse's head, or like, we wouldn't be on the back of the horse, we'd be like,
I think we're the smart ones because we don't make up dumb names for shit that isn't what you're doing.
I was dumbfounded that somebody's actually put some thought into this, that it's like, it's that level of crazy. But it was hilarious. The funniest part about it was Toby puts on like this super cheesy, it's probably the same accent that I do when I try to go, hey mate, what was it? But he's like, eyeglasses, horseback riding, like super just put
I've
the
heard it.
American accents on. It was fucking hilarious. I must have listened to it like 15 times. Like, I was sitting in my driveway, like literally like in stitches, like holding my stomach. I was laughing so hard. But yeah. So yeah, don't be a Toby, be a Ambrose. That's the moral of my story.
He's a fake Australian. He doesn't live in
Oh
Australia
man.
anymore.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. I love that guy.
Oh, all right. You got any more to say? I'm done with you.
I do have
I'm
something.
already sick of you. You're only back for
Yeah.
What else?
I was sick of you when we started. That's why I said I am so sorry. Two things here. One of them's probably not that interesting, but I feel like since I have this platform, I will say this. I did do a golf tournament this weekend, so I joined a golf league. So once a month is an excuse for me to actually make
Not
time.
be in the shop and do work. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
sure. I enjoy other things, Dennis. We don't get to retire. So it's an excuse to get me out at least once a month, right? I really enjoy golfing. I love it. My son and I do it and all that stuff. But I've been a guest in this with this group for probably a year and a half, 2 years maybe. I've been golfing with them as a guest. So
Is that the one you've been
um
bitching about not being invited to?
no, I don't think so. I don't recall that. Because it's like it's come on, come one, come all type thing. So
Okay.
it's not exclusive. I will
Okay.
say that. But that was probably a work thing. Um the fuck, you took me off my path here. Oh, so I joined the club, and Jeff's been giving me a handicap, right? So when I was golfing, and I figured it all out now. So in 2018, prior to that, I think 2018 is when I kind of stopped, I guess, golfing as much as I was like 2-3 times a week. I had a handicap through a gin number through USGA, and apparently I was a lot better back then because I've been using a 30 handicap, which means it's roughly giving me 30 strokes as we play around, so I can compete with everybody else. So when you join this league, though, they re-up your gin number and make it reactive. So I show up on Saturday, and the guy goes, "Maybe you already had a handicap, and it's 19.2." And I'm like, no. That is not the guy I am today. That may have been me 4, 5, 6, 10 years ago, but that is not who the fuck I am today. So I had to golf with that's like a 90 golfer. That's pretty damn good for me, anyways. I mean,
I would love to be a
I think my
105 golfer.
the lowest I was like a 16, and but I ended up with a 19. So um, uh, at a 19, I shot 114 on Saturday. I tried to tell him, I'm like, you just watch at the end of this one and see if I'm sandbagging, because that's the big thing. Like, if you're golfing in tournaments, if you have a high handicap, it's cheating. That's what sandbagging is. So apparently after my 114, my handicap now today is 19.4. So apparently it takes several shitty rounds to affect your handicap, because the next tournament I'm still gonna fucking not be right. So I don't know. It's more irritating to me than anything else. Also, Reaper put out this fucking reel I just came across like 20 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, yeah, I saw your note, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it is spot the fuck on. ADHD. Like, I related to every single thing that is in that reel. It's fantastic. Just wanted to shout my boy out for representing us neurodivergents. It's such an awesome
banging on. What are you banging?
I just slammed my can of chew down.
Oh, okay.
That's how passionate I am about this.
Oh, is that what that was?
And secondly, thank you for all the people that reached out to me while I was gone and have asked about the trip. I feel super appreciated and loved. I missed you guys, and again, my sincerest and deepest apologies for stepping away for so long and keeping you with Denis. You don't deserve that. You guys deserve a lot better. So,
I will tell you, like Kim's been doing these little reels, which everyone seems to love, the little knife wife reels.
Yeah.
And I think I've created a monster, and she's bugging me to create reels like every day now, which is great. I mean, I love her.
I did see that one.
Yeah. But we definitely got to get this Knife Wife podcast episode. I got another one, so I think it'll be 3 of them. I think it'll be hilarious to have 3 knife wives on the podcast.
All right.
So we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
Stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned.
You got to work on Lynn.
Yeah. It'll be far more entertaining for everybody else to hear how great
what
she thinks about me and my knife making.
Oh, that's exactly why. I think.
Man, we're about peace and love here. Peace and love. We're about to take the piece of the islands home with you, bro. Come on, man.
Did you lose your keys?
Yeah, I did. I wish I did.
Oh,
all right.
Man. All right.
Oh, no. You suck.
All right. Now I'm done with you.
All right, man. One more, and then we'll get a real good episode here. So hurry up and leave, my friend.
Yeah. Have you figured out your co-host?
I have not.
All right. Jerid's taking applications.
All applications. Anybody want to have a fantastic evening and in an episode of Triple T where 5 people are going to listen to you?
Yeah, it is not a roast Tyrell Knifeworks episode, despite what Jerid thinks.
Every episode is a roast Tyrell. I'm actually kind of disappointed. The only person that fucking handled business was Spencer, dude. Shout out to Spencer for calling you old and Santa Claus. I fucking laughed so hard when he was like, "Well, it's true. You do look older than Rick." So I said, yes.
I take offense to that. Rick is much older than me.
Oh, it was good.
I don't forget my appointments or what day it is.
Yeah. You also don't have as many tools, so
Yeah, that's true. All right.
right.
Bye.
Later. And that's a wrap.